Namaste, Yogi Mamas to be. We are creating space and finding balance in our lives and our bodies and our minds today. So have your usual props, cushions, blocks, pillows, books, straps, bolsters, you name it. And I will meet you in a comfortable seated position. You can use a chair, of course, if sitting down on the floor isn't for you right now. So allow yourself to come into your breath. Offer yourself this time to find gratitude and offer yourself a blessing before we really start today. So bless yourself in this moment. Bless your baby. Bless this moment for you to share with your baby this unique experience that no one else will experience but you and your baby. Maybe you'd like to take this moment to forgive anything that you may have brought to your mat. Accepting the past and embracing the amazing future that is ahead of all of you. Acknowledge your breath once again and just see how it's feeling today. What's the quality of the breath like? Without judging anything, without changing anything, just simply be the observer. And let's set an intention for the practice today, in line with the theme of the practice of creating space and finding balance. Could use I am balanced. I have made the space effortlessly for my baby and our future. Okay, find yourself coming onto your hands and knees. If you've got wrist niggles, by all means come up onto the fist straight away, or maybe you take the hands further out in front of you so you're not putting all of the pressure into the wrists if you find that that's happening. And we're going to take a little bit of wrist strengthening work. Now this one is quite intense, so if you don't feel comfortable, you can maybe do what we're going to do next, against a wall instead. So starting on fists, you can either do it one hand at a time or both at the same time. We're going to slowly just press down onto the outer hands and then push back up. So you're hugging your baby and you're rolling all the way back up to fists. So you're inhaling to lower down and exhaling to lift up. Now it demands a lot of strength through the arms so we don't find ourselves collapsing onto the joints themselves. That's why I said if you prefer to do this against a wall, just to get the movement more familiar, then go for that one. And then turn the fingertips to face towards you, so the thumbs are facing out. And rock forward and back, just getting a stretch along the forearms and to the base of the wrists. As always, if anything feels too much, please do stop. The wrists are very delicate joints, so give them a roll out, a shake out maybe. Okay, so seated cat-cow. So maybe rock the head from side to side, and then when you're ready we're going to just lift the heart up, take a breath in, slide the shoulder blades down the back, and as you breathe out round through the back, hug your baby in, just take a little gaze towards them. Inhaling to shine the heart forward and up, exhaling to round back. Inhaling to lift, exhaling to round. Reconnect with your intention And as soon as you're ready, make your way back onto your hands and your knees. So you guys know this one. We're going to come into bird dog. So reaching the left arm forward and the right leg back, you can option just do this one limb at a time instead of reaching both forward. Hugging baby in, and then we're going to do that again on the other side. So left leg reaches back, option reach the right arm forward, or just come onto the fingertips of the right hand, up to you. And be mindful that we're not collapsing through the back as well. So we're hugging baby in, we're drawing tailbone back down towards that left heel, and then back onto hands and knees. Your child's pose is always there at any point as well. So if you need to take a rest, please always do so. I am aware that I'm not pregnant, so I will be moving very different to those of you who are further into your second trimester and along. So you just do what feels best for you and what feels good. Okay, back onto hands and knees. As long as your midwife or doctor, anyone has said it's okay for you to do down dog after 22 weeks, go ahead. If not, you can just take child's pose or puppy dog pose instead. And then we're going to walk the hands back towards the feet, coming into Uttasana, our forward fold. So grab hold of a block or something to rest your hands on. Ensure that the knees are open wide enough so that you can snuggle baby between the thighs. And just let your body melt down here. If you've got any nausea at the moment, I would definitely just leave this one out. Any forward folding, just leave it out. Take a breath in for a halfway lift and rocking side to side. And then release a little bit more. Maybe give the toes a wiggle on the earth. As I said, we're finding balance today as well, so we want to feel balance through both soles of the feet. So before we come up to standing, we want to make sure that we're feeling the earth beneath the body, but we're also, what we're doing now is creating length down the side waist as well. Okay, bend the knees, hands come up onto the thighs, take a rounding of the back, standing cat stretch, and then reach the heart forward, shoulder blades down the back. And then you're going to roll up all the way, vertebra by vertebra, and shine the heart and our prayer up to the sky. Take a breath in, and breathe out, hands back through to prayer. Maybe rest hands at baby. So any support that you had on your mat, just pop it out of the way. Take an inhale, coming into a chair pose. And as you breathe out, walk the hands down the legs, bring the hands onto the floor. Lift the heart slightly for a breath in. And as you breathe out, walk the hands forward, either come into puppy dog pose or downward facing dog. So down dog is where I'm at the moment. So keep the knees soft, maybe pedal the feet, and then slowly release the knees onto the floor. Reach the heart forward, taking a modified up dog. Chaturanga, so push down halfway, lift up, modified up dog once again, and then back either to a down dog or a child's pose. Creating length, creating space. And walk the hands back towards the legs, coming up halfway, using the support of a block or something underneath the hands. Snuggle baby between thighs, just let that head roll down, halfway lift, breathe in, hands onto the thighs, breathe out round through the back, and then as you inhale, reach the heart forward, reach the arms up, and stand up, hands through prayer, or to baby. And let's do that once again. So sitting into a chair pose, take a breath in, breathe out, walk the hands down, excuse me, down onto the floor, onto the block, halfway lift, breathe in. breathe out, walk the hands forward, hands and knees, or come into a downward facing dog or a puppy dog pose. Come on to hands and knees, and then you're going to come into that modified up dog again. So inhale, exhale, push up, modified up dog, breathe in. And as you breathe out, back to puppy dog pose, child's pose, or down dog. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out as you walk the hands back towards the legs. Lifting up halfway for a breath in, folding down forward for a breath out, and then back to that chair pose. Deep breath in, push through the feet, hands through to prayer, and rest the hands at baby. Soften the shoulders, offer yourself any movement here if you want to roll through the ankles, maybe you want to take some hip rolls, some sways from side to side, anything, or you can just find stillness. Take that chair pose again, so deep breath in, sink into the feet as you breathe out, take a forward fold, halfway lift, breathe in. Breathe out, release, walk the hands down onto the floor, bring the knees down. Option back to down dog or child's pose. You should be feeling the flow now. So inhale, come into that modified up dog. Exhale, push all the way, well not all the way down, just halfway. Inhale, lift up to modified up dog. Exhale, down dog or child's pose. Breathing in and out. Deep breath in and a full breath out. On the next out breath, walk the hands back to the feet. Take a halfway lift for a breath in. Breathe out for a forward fold. And then we're going to come back into that chair pose once again. Deep breath in. Hands through prayer as you breathe out, push through the feet. Prayer to heart or hands to baby. Lovely. Check back in with your intention. Feel the support of the earth beneath you. And one more chair pose. Take a breath in and a breath out for a forward fold. Lifting halfway, inhale. Exhale, walk the hands forward, pop the knees down on the floor, back to child's pose, or head back into a down dog. Knees come to the floor. Inhale to a modified up dog. Exhale, push down halfway. Inhale, lift, modified up dog. Exhale, back to a down dog or child's pose. Deep breath in and a full breath out. Start walking the hands back towards the feet. Take hold of your block if you know you like to use one. And offer yourself some ragdoll. So just sway from side to side now. And then back into that chair pose. A little bit of fire through the legs. And stand up. Mountain pose. Hands to baby or prayer at heart space. Drop the shoulders. Lift through the crown of the head. Okay, any props that you've got on your mat, just pop them out the way. Turn to face towards the long side of your mat. And we're going to take Warrior 2 with our right leg leading. So, the toes of your right foot are going to point up towards the short edge of your mat. And then you're going to toe heel your right foot over to the right, so the long edge of your mat. So your feet are not lining up with one another. Most of you guys know that, but it's just in case we've got anyone new. And we're opening the arms out wide. So the arms are going along the same line as the hips, not the legs, really. And drop the shoulders, as I said. hug your baby in, and you're going to flip the front hand and take an inhale as you bring your left hand to the left leg, reaching the right arm overhead. And as we're focusing on balance today and finding space, all of our postures where we might want to look up, see if you can just actively look down to the grounded limbs. Back to warrior two, hands onto the hips, and we're going to come into a side angle now. So bend into that right knee once again, and then the left arm reaches overhead. So your option is to bring, if you've got any shoulder niggles, you can bring the left hand behind the back. You can rest your right hand on a block on the inside of that right knee, or you can just keep holding on to baby with your right hand. But hug baby in here, and let's lift back up to a warrior two, straighten the legs, and come straight into a triangle pose, Trikonasana. So reach that right arm forward, and we're going to rotate the arms up to the sky. Drop the shoulders, so draw the shoulder blades down the back, and we're rotating the right shoulder blade down, gazing towards our right foot, bend into the right knee, back to warrior two, standing up, pop any blocks and support out the way, and just toe heel the right foot so the heels are on the same line, coming into goddess pose. So reach those arms up on a next inhale. As you breathe out, sink down into your goddess pose, and you're going to bring the hands onto the thighs. You're going to drop one shoulder down as you look over the left shoulder. So inhaling to center and exhaling to swap sides. Now if this is too much, if you've got any pelvic girdle pain, please do leave this one out. You will most likely know that already, but you can do the shoulder movement sat on a chair instead. Okay, so warrior two on the other leg. So toe heel the left foot to the long edge of the mat, and bend into that left knee. Arms are out wide, you're broadening through the collarbones, shoulders are soft, and you're finding length and space through the sides of the waist. So imagine you're growing through the top body, and reach over that right leg. So we're taking that reverse warrior two, lifting up and away with that left arm as opposed to reaching over to the side. Back to warrior two, and come into our assisted side angle. So left forearm to left thigh, or you can bring the left hand onto a block on the inside of the left foot. If it's still available, and you've got a solid practice of yoga already and you want to bring the left hand to the floor, if it feels good for you, then by all means go for that. Okay, triangle pose. So lifting up, we're reaching over the left leg, and then we're rotating the heart up to the sky. Balance wise, take a little gaze down towards the floor, so to your left foot. Bend into that left knee, and all the way back up we come. And let's reverse our triangle this way. So both legs are straight. Again, you're lifting up and away, hugging baby in, not locking any of the joints. Toe heel the left foot in. And then swap sides, so we're toe heeling that right leg out, and we're taking reverse triangle on the right. Lift up, 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 up and away. This should feel really, really good just to create that space. Okay, so coming back into our goddess pose again. So inhale the arms up, and as you exhale, release down. And then we're going to take some side stretches, so just swaying from side to side. See if we can keep the legs as still as possible, hugging baby in, and the knees are not opening out too wide, so they want to be directly over the ankles. But as I said before, you can do all of this on a chair, or just do it standing up with the legs straight. Toe heel the feet a little bit closer towards each other, bring hands to baby, and then just offer yourself some hip rolls here. So you want to be finding opening through the backs of the legs, sides of the hips. That's feeling the support of the earth beneath us. Okay, tree pose. So we're bringing the heel of the right foot up, externally rotating that right knee out. So you can keep the foot on the floor here. This is still tree pose, or you can slide it up the inner left calf. If it's available for you, bring the right foot onto the inner left thigh and push the thigh against the foot. We're lifting up through that left hip as well. Don't worry about really opening out that right knee. We don't need to do that in pregnancy yoga. We're working on balance today. So left hand maybe comes to heart and right hand comes to baby. Some more arm variations for you. You might want to reach the arms above head and bring your arms into prayer. Or open out through the heart a little bit more and come into cactus arms. So the arms are on 90-degree angles with the elbows in line with the shoulders. Okay, release down, hands to baby. Give the legs a little shake out, a little rock side to side. And then we're going to prepare to do tree pose on the other side. So we're going to pop the weight into the right foot, externally rotate the left knee, can keep the toes on the floor, lifting up through that right leg. Maybe slide the left foot up the inside of the right calf, or bring the foot up to the inner right thigh. Squeezing thigh and foot together. Find a focus point right in front of you, maybe use a wall. Hands go where feel good. Don't think about it too much, just let your body guide you. Let your baby guide you as well. One more breath. And release down. Give the legs a shake out. Okay, so grabbing hold of your block, I would suggest have quite a few. If you've got any pelvic girdle pain, use a chair for this next one, or just come straight onto your bottom instead. Coming into our low yogi squat, our malasana. So, sitting down with the block underneath the hips, lifting up through the heart as much as possible. This is a really ideal birthing position. Creates space for the lower back and also helps with that downward force to encourage baby out without you having to do too much work. Easier said than done, I've heard many people say, but it's a good one to be aware of. So you can take some heart openers here. So what I'm doing is I'm just reaching one arm up to the sky at a time, and you're also getting a really healthy exercise for spinal rotation without twisting or compromising the baby in their position right now. Lovely. Okay, come out this one, onto hands and knees, and we're going to transition onto our bottoms. So keep the knees together, sink the bottom onto the floor, and then we're going to, as an option, use a block underneath the sacrum, or you can use a cushion or a pillow if it feels too intense. It's another really nice one to create space in the pelvis. So you can stay upright on your forearms, maybe straighten the legs, or if it feels okay, to come onto your back but using support underneath the top of the back, so we're not arching in this one. So you've got support underneath the pelvis and underneath the top of the back, you can. So that's what I'm doing now. So I've just shifted one block. I only had one block today. I shifted one block and I popped it under the top of my back Ideally for you ladies, please do grab yourself a cushion to pop underneath your head, because what's happening with me is I am actually getting a bit of a back bend at the moment, which is okay for pregnancy, but for some people you might feel a little bit queasy, so just bear that in mind. But it should feel really, 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 really good just to open out and find that expansiveness of the heart. And bring your hands to baby, or out to the sides, and just take some windscreen wipers. You're just going to rock from, so just take the knees over to one side and gaze the other way. Or you can keep your head, your gaze upwards, that's fine. And then take yourself over to the other side. And back to centre. Okay, our next one, we're taking reclined pigeon pose, so a hip opener, great for anyone who is struggling with a bit of sciatica at the moment, but also a great one to do at any time if you have sciatica. So start toe heeling your right foot over to the left edge of the mat, and your right ankle is just above your right knee, and you're going to roll your outer right thigh down to the floor. So this is where, if you've got cushions, extra bolsters to use for extra support, please do use them so you don't find yourself pulling on your lower back. And then swap sides. So we're going to pop the left foot on the floor, right ankle above the left knee, toe heel the left foot to the right edge of the mat, and then take the legs over to one side, or over to the left side. Remember to breathe, very, very, very important. Should be feeling a nice opening through the right hip, right side of the waist as well. Lovely, let's come back into centre and prepare ourselves for Shavasana. So grab yourself a drink of water if you need to grab some. As always, when you're coming up from laying down, you roll onto your left side if you're not there already. Maybe grab yourself some cushions, pillows to pop between the thighs. And have your head supported so that your neck can stay in a nice long line. Maybe bring the hands to baby. Just find yourself comfortable in a space where you're not going to be disturbed and you can stay super duper still. I'm going to allow you to just stay here for as long as you need your Shavasana to serve you for. A huge, huge, huge thank you once again for joining me and the other mamas to be as well with this practice. And I'm sending you loads of love, loads of light, health and good vibes. I will see you soon. Namaste. you.